thank you all for showing up today, and good morning. All right, so first, and this is, by the way, passive prospecting. That way you never have to cold call, door knock, or spend money on ads ever again if you don't want to, all right? That's just an option, and depending on how big you want to grow. So first of all, I always give a shout out to my partner, my business partner, Travis Plumb over there. I like to say I collected the clients, he converted them, so he's been very instrumental in our business. And so here's kind of what we're discussing today. So we're going to tell you about our results, why YouTube is the best way to market your future clients. Actually, I had to leave that part out, so we'll skip that one. Our partners' results, strategies that you can start today, so you will learn something at least, and a little bit more about myself, and then how we can work together if that's an option that you want to explore. So here's the deal. I mean, we were brand new agents. Travis and I, we both started around December of 2020. And so here you can see our stats. I always think it's interesting. We get up at these shows and all the people on stage have billions of dollars in sales and thousands of homes. And I'm like, okay, here we are, 2020. We sold 0 homes, and mainly because we started in December of 2020. And we released our first YouTube video on December 5th of 2020. And so the first quarter of 2021, guess what? We sold 0 homes, all right? So this is why you're here listening to us, because our great track record. But here's the deal. So it took us 90 days to get our first deal under contract. And we closed our first 2 transactions in April of 2021. And this is what happened in the last 9 months of 2021. We ended up generating 690 leads from the channel. We closed 64 transactions at a 9.2% conversion, just at $33.5 million in volume, and just at $1,006,000 in commissions in our first, basically the last 9 months of our first year. Thank you. Good. We impressed one person. I'll stay focused on you up there now. But now 2022 comes along. And this is the really cool thing about YouTube is the compound effect. And so here's what happened over 2022 is that we generated 1,958 leads. So we averaged 5.4 leads per day from the channel. We did 156 closed transactions at 8% conversion, 86.1 million in volume, 2.3 million in commissions. Is that okay for your second year? Okay. All right. Still impressed one person. All right. Yeah. So that's the opportunity. And so that type of success leads to relationships. It leads to opportunities. And we've been able to now work with and partner and be a part of some of the top marketers, agents, and YouTubers on the planet. So that's pretty awesome. But here's the deal. I've got a friend, Michael Reese. Anybody know Michael Reese? Say aye. Okay, a couple of you. He's wanted to get me into real estate for 20 years, but there's a major problem. I always understood that 87% of agents fail in their first 2 years, and I saw how hard he worked in the first 3 years of the business. I mean, really any small business owner, once they get started up, we know that those first 2 years are the most critical. And it was just something that I asked myself when I did make that transition. I was like, why do agents fail? And if you look at the stats, they're pretty staggering. So the average agent starts with less than $5,000 to their name. Even according to NAR, if you look on their website, if you have 2 years or less experience, on average, your income is $8,800 a year. Now we know why people get out of the business, because they're not making any money. But it's also rejection-based. I don't care what anybody says. You can talk to friends and families and cold call all day. Nobody really enjoys getting told no all the time. And so that's why a lot of people get. But what it really comes down to is also not being effective at lead generation. You can't just depend on your friends and families when you get started in the business to generate a full-time income for you. So when I was looking at if I'm going to get started, I wanted to figure out a way to attract business because that was something I didn't want to do. Nothing wrong with cold calling and door knocking or anything like that. It was just something that I didn't really want to get started on. So I wanted to look at suburbs and try to find out what are people actually looking for. And so whenever I looked on Google, if I searched Plano, Texas, which is a major suburb of Dallas, and by the way, we're Dallas. And by the way, I didn't even introduce myself, did I? My name's Levi Lascsak, by the way. So I left that part out. My name's Levi, by the way, so nice to meet you. And so Plano, if you look on Google, it gets 90,500 searches per month. But whenever I went on to YouTube, it gets 834,000 searches per month. That is 10 times the search volume on YouTube than it is on Google. So that told me that people are actually searching this on YouTube because they want to see what Plano looks like. So that led us to discover that what we call the passive prospecting principles, okay? So if you look at interruption versus intention, I mean, as business owners and as consumers, we've been exposed to or conducted interruption marketing our entire life. That's billboards, magazine ads, TV commercials, postcards, cold calling, door knocking. Those work, but think about it. None of us really truly like getting a phone call in the middle of dinner, right? That is interrupting what we're doing. And that's why you have to target people over and over and over again. That's why they call this a relationship building business. Because really what you're doing is interrupting people over and over until they finally decide to do business. So the thing is that you can see a dog food commercial 10 times a day, right? But it doesn't mean you're going to run out and buy dog food. But the second you pour out the last bowl of dog food, well, none of us want Fluffy to die. And so we say, okay, I need dog food. I'm going to go to the store, go directly to the dog food aisle, buy it, or I'm going to go on Amazon and search it, and it'll be on my doorstep in a day or two. So when you have intention to buy something, you do not need any marketing or advertising at all whatsoever to convince you, right? So think if you could put yourself in that position when it comes to real estate. Instead of chasing after people all the time, what if you could just be the one directly in front of them when they're actually ready to buy or sell a home? And we know this is true because if you look at the back-end analytics of our channel, look at this, 53% of our traffic came from TV, computer, and tablet. Think about that. Those are research devices. And look at 30% of our traffic came from TV alone, which means people are sitting on their couch, maybe even laying in bed, watching our videos. Now, trust me, they're only doing that if they're ready to buy or sell a home. And then you look at the watch times. They say that attention spans are dead these days, right? That's why you're supposed to be a dancing real estate agent on TikTok. Because they say that's all people have the attention for, but that's not the case either. Because look at the view durations on these platforms. Look at TV, average view duration, 9 minutes and 39 seconds. Look at computer, 5 minutes and 52. Tablet, 6 minutes and 23 seconds. Look where the view duration is the lowest, is on mobile phone. But look at whenever YouTube even suggests videos, it's at its absolute highest because YouTube has the best algorithm out there and it knows what people are searching for, and their whole goal is time on platform, and they want people to stay on there as long as possible. So they're going to suggest videos that they know they're going to watch. So as soon as somebody starts watching about real estate, guess what YouTube's going to do? It's going to start feeding your videos to them because it wants them to stay on platform. And look at that, 10 minutes and 48 seconds, the average time of whenever they watch one video. And last year, actually in 2021, our average contact to under contract was 47 days out of the first 64. In 2022, that increased just slightly to 51 days, which means out of those 156 transactions we did on average, the first time they ever reached out to us, we got them under contract in 51 days. That's how intentional these people are on YouTube because they're searching. And we all know that YouTube is the second largest search engine behind Google. So that's very important. But then you think about global versus local. Now it's very important to farm out your local neighborhood or a suburb, right? I mean, that's very effective. But have you ever wanted to grow outside of your neighborhood or your suburb or your city or your state or the United States? I mean, would we ever cold call another country? Not likely. Would we ever send out mailers to another country? Not likely. But we reach people from across the world. We've already done deals, multiple with international clients, and actually from multiple states. And why? Because they're watching our channel 24/7. We can see this in the views. Look at this, like 2 in the morning, 69 views. When's the last time you've cold called at 2 in the morning? No takers. Door knocked at 3 in the morning. No. But here you can see 69, 70, 72 people watching our channel at that time. You know why? Those 69 people are intentional at 2 a.m. You think they're watching our real estate channel for entertainment? Not likely. They're in research mode, but they're also probably in another time zone or maybe even across the world, because that could be 9 a.m. in the UK. It could be 5 p.m. in Japan. And we've helped people move from Japan. We got this email just the other day. Look, my family is 6 with 2 cats. We're originally from Florida, but living in Belgium for the past 6 years due to my husband's work, relocating to Texas. They've never been to Texas, but guess what they're doing? They're stuck in Belgium. They're not just going to come check out homes randomly on one weekend, right? So now they're getting transferred. They have to move. Where are they going? They're going to YouTube to research. And so, look, and we just got this one the other day too. On our live stream, been watching your channel for a year and moving in December from the Philippines. And we've helped people from South Korea, from Australia, from the UK, from South Africa moved to Texas because they're finding us on YouTube, and we spent zero on advertising. And that's another point that I failed to mention is all of that business that we generated, zero ad spend. We ran zero traffic to our YouTube channel. It was all organic. All right, so this is what can happen. But this is the biggest issue that people tell me they don't get started on YouTube is because it takes too much time. But YouTube does not take time. YouTube makes you time. And not only that, look at this. So this one video took us 30 minutes to film, but it's already been watched, actually way more than that, than I've done the screenshot. But look at that, 9,400 hours. So that's like making a profit of 9,399.5 hours off that one 30-minute investment. Would you make a 30-minute investment to get that back in time? Say aye. Aye. Okay, a couple of smart ones in here. Good. No. All right, so the thing is that it gets even better. So YouTube doesn't just make you time, it compounds your time. So look at this. For example, our channel in one day was watched 1,514 hours in one day. So if you divide that by 24 hours in a day, that's equivalent to 63 days. And in 1 month, our channel was watched 11,800 hours. You divide that by 24 hours in a day, that's equivalent to 1.34 years. And in the first 18 months of our channel, it was watched 130,400 watch hours. You divide that by 24 hours in a day, that's equivalent to 14.88 years worth of prospecting. That's why we're able to do the business we're doing, because we are compounding our time. So we're turning 1 day's worth of prospecting into 2.1 months. We're turning 1 month into 1.34 years and 1.5 years into 1.5 decades worth of prospecting. Think about how powerful that is. We've already prospected almost a decade and a half in our short time frame that we've been in the business. And that's why we're able to generate so much, is because it's not completely dependent on us. Just as the same as we're here right now, guess what's happening? People are watching our channel, right? The phone's still ringing. So we're not worried about whenever we come to conferences. We're not worried when we go on vacation, because we know that the channel is constantly working for us. So this all ties into the cash flow quadrant. If you've ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, then you understand the cash flow quadrant. And look, none of us wanted to be employees, right? Because employees trade time for money, and you have to work for somebody else. And none of us wanted to do that. So that's why we became real estate agents, right? So the thing is, though, is that when we got a license, we just became self-employed. We still trade time for money. We just do it for ourselves instead of somebody else. So in real estate, if you want to become a business owner and move to the right side, then you have to leverage something, right? You have to leverage, you have to either have a team, you need to have a brokerage, you need to have rental properties generating passive income, or you need to have some sort of system generating leads for you passively as well, just like YouTube, because otherwise, if your lead generation is dependent on you, you still have a job. You don't have a business. But the ultimate goal is to become an investor, because your money can make you money. And if they say time is the most valuable asset, well then shouldn't we be looking at what we invest our time is? And so they say compound interest is one of the is one of the 8th wonders of the world, right? Well, think about compounding your time, and have you ever thought about what you're actually inputting your time into? And so this really comes down to active prospecting. It's hard, right? I mean, it's why all sales training exists. It's why there's books and TV books and trainings and conferences. We go there to improve our skills, to understand how to build rapport and establish credibility, and to build relationships, because it takes time, right? We have to actively prospect. That comes with a ton of rejection. And I've been in sales for a long time, and I love sales, but I always hated prospecting, right? Because I felt like I spent 90% of my time doing it, and that's where people typically get to burn out on doing that. So, when it comes down to passive prospecting, it's really easy, okay? There's zero rejection when it comes down to this. Clients walk themselves through the entire sales process. The great thing about video is video builds the relationship for us, okay? So whenever clients call us, they've already made the decision that they want to work with us. We don't have any funnels on our page. We don't have any as far as lead captures, right? We don't have any lead magnets or download this free guide or anything to capture anybody's information. We just wait, because whenever they do call us, they're already ready to make a move, right? And they've already decided that they want to work with us. And that is very powerful, because we don't have to sell them. I mean, the video is our buyer or seller presentation, right? Because they've watched enough content, they know. Plus, there's some other channels out there. Of course there are. But it really comes down to personality. What happens is people watch other channels, But whenever they call you, they've made that decision that they want to work with you. And so we see this every single day in our text, emails, videos, Zooms, everything. We get this every single day. When I say we get 3 to 5 leads per day, it's inbound. And this is the type of information. I know you can't read everything, but I want you to see the volume. Look at that amount of information. When's the last time you received a cold outreach on an email and somebody wrote you an entire page telling you everything about themselves? They tell us everything, budget, bedrooms, baths, when they want to move. But look at these key phrases. They say right here, we'd like to check with you and see when you'd be able to help us find a home. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for your time. I look forward to hearing from you. If you have some time to talk about this, feel free to give me a call. So they're asking us, are we willing to work with them as a client? Isn't that amazing? Yeah. And so that's what happens every single day. So that's what the video does for us. And so if you want a resource, this is what really kind of started me on this journey, was this book, YouTube Secrets. It's not really going to teach you anything about real estate, but it will teach you the fundamentals and principles of the platform so that you really get a good understanding of how it works, because that's what I had to understand, was how does the platform work first, and then how I could apply it to real estate. But I got good news, is because the blueprint on YouTube for real estate will be coming out next month or so, which is our book, Passive Prospecting. Excited to announce that. And for those in the back, thank you. Thank you. And for those that can't see down there, yes, Ryan Serhant wrote the foreword for us on that. So that's a pretty cool opportunity we've got there as well. And that will lay out the blueprint on everything that you need to do. But at the same time, doing that through on video is going to be very important. So, a couple of the agents that we've been able to help, like Kyler in Houston, he posted this the other day. He said, hey, I just got 2,000 subscribers, 104 active leads, and a total of about 185, 6 sold with 2 pending. I know he's done way more than this, so this was just something he posted a couple of months ago. But Rochelle up in Toronto, she's killing it. They posted on here in the last 7 days, we've closed 1.6 million. Currently working with 1.3 million on a buy sell. Started a team to help me keep up with leads. And her new agent on her team closed 4 deals in her first month. And we've seen this the case on our team in 2022. We had to expand to a team because it got too overwhelming for myself and Travis. And so that's when we started to build out our team. We had 5 brand new agents on our team that all hit over 100K in GCI just from the YouTube leads we gave them. And they were very happy first-year agents, I'll tell you that. Chris is in Northwest Georgia. This is not like the hustling and bustling real estate economy of the United States, right? It's very rural, very small towns. He has to drive 30 minutes to everywhere. And he was a nurse with 0 sales experience. Came into this, knew he wanted to get into real estate. He got completely burnt out during COVID and wanted to make a transition, saw what we were doing, and he thought, well, I could do that. I can make videos about my hometown, and you'd be surprised. He does a couple of transactions per month. It's not the volume we're doing, but we're also in Dallas, Texas. It's a high volume market. It's a top relocation market. But he doesn't need it. He doesn't have the cost of living and the expenses that most people have. So 1 to 2 transactions. Plus he's got 4 kids. So he likes to stay at home mostly and be the dad mom. And so 1 to 2 transactions a month is enough for Chris in a rural area. And so you have to ask yourself, what's the amount of business that you want to be able to generate from this? Because that's how you can ramp this up as fast or as hard as you want to, or you can just, have it complete a couple of transactions per month, and you got to see what's going to be right for you. So, here's our big, hairy, audacious goals. We would like to help another 100 agents build their own passive prospecting, lead generating channels. And that way they never have to worry about cold calling and door knocking and spending money on ads if they don't want to. And so this is where we built out the passive prospecting process. So this consists of the channel build out, content creation, optimization, and lead conversion. I want to do this experiment. I've never done this before, so this is going to be a huge risk. Everybody got their phone on them? Yes, I presume. Pull up the YouTube app. Everybody has the YouTube app, right? Yep. So I'll give you 1 minute. Type in living in Dallas, Texas on YouTube. This is going to be a huge either success or a failure. One way or the other. Type in living in Dallas, Texas on YouTube. Living in Dallas, Texas. And let me know if our channel or if our video pops up. Raise your hand. If it's the first thing that pops up. Actually, stand up if you don't mind. If it's the first thing that popped up. Okay, good. I think that's good enough. Thank you. Thank you for participating. So,
should we subscribe?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Subscribe, yeah. And make sure you tap the bell for notifications so you're the first to learn about the current market in Dallas. There you go. We just broke 20,000 subscribers. So you can search that afterwards, and that's been organic. So the reason is I want you to really visualize and see how that works. What if that, and that's not it. You're not typing in Levi Lascsak or Travis Plumb. Think about how powerful it is. You're typing in Dallas, Texas, and think about how competitive and how much of a market people may say it's saturated, but we're still the first ones that pop up on there because we've cornered that and we understand how the optimization and how all this works. So there's very key things. So you probably just saw our channel on there, and we did everything strategically, everything intentionally. That was the deal. Before I got in, I studied this because I wanted to understand or think that I really had a plan before ever starting. So look at this, couple of key things. First of all, we called it Living in Dallas, Texas. We called it that because that was the top search term in Dallas, Texas. It wasn't Levi Lascsak or Travis Plumb. Actually, we had zero search volume. Nobody knew who we were. We had no brand, no presence. So if we put our names or if we put, Levi and Travis's home selling team, nobody would ever find that. So we named it a top search term. So we optimized around Dallas, Texas, because guess what? Dallas, Texas gets millions of searches every single month. Now, look at what happens in the middle. Right there in the middle, we tell them exactly what they're getting and why they're getting it when they come to the channel. So think about people on YouTube. They're in research mode, right? They're looking for information. So it tells them, if you want to learn about living in Dallas, Texas, that's why you should subscribe, right? That's a value-driven statement. That is not Levi Lascsak and Travis Plumb, Dallas, Texas real estate agents, call us to buy, sell, or invest, right? That is a selfish-based statement because we're just trying to serve ourselves. Now, look at this. On the left-hand side, we created a graphic. We get a lot of people moving in from California, Illinois, New York, right? So now this builds instant rapport with them because they see, oh, this channel is also for someone like myself, making that move. I'm coming across country. So we create that visual again for them to have that instant connection. If you have a YouTube channel, how many of you have a YouTube channel? Let me see your hands. Leave them up if you link your socials right there. Yeah, most of you. So if you look on most agents' channel, they'll link Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, everything, right? They give you all the links. But you got to think about this too. You work so hard to get somebody to your channel in the first place. Why would you want to distract them to a short form platform where they're probably going to end up watching cat videos in the first place? Right? So the thing is that we want specific calls to action. Hey, let's meet in person on Zoom. So the only link right there is really just to subscribe or to book a call with us. So if they click on that link, it's going to go straight to our Zoom calendar and they're going to book a call. So if they're not ready to book them, we want them to stay on our channel. We want them to watch as many videos as possible. And so that's why we do that. And then if you look at very simple content creation strategies, these work in pretty much any market. And the vlog tour, this is something that, anybody can go online right now. They can look for, they can look at homes inside and out, pictures, right? No big deal. Maybe a virtual tour on that home. But what they can't see is they can't see the home next door, the house across the street. And they can't see the playground down the street and the community center and the pool and Chipotle and Chick-fil-A around the corner, right? All the important stuff. And so we actually take them out in the neighborhoods and show them those types of things. Plus it gets you out of the house and you get to do some fun stuff, right? You get to tell people about your city. And so I love it. My friend Michael Valdez over here said, I was on his podcast and he goes, wait a second, you mean you're selling real estate by not telling people about real estate? I said, yeah, exactly. We're telling them about Dallas, right? Because that's what people are researching and looking for information. So you've got the map tour. I never believed this would work, but it was an experiment, right? We just got on a Zoom screen and shared a map of Dallas and walked people through. I mean, anybody can look at a map of Dallas, but they can't get your perspective. They can't get your input, your stories. How long does it, Google may say it takes 20 minutes to get to the airport, but is that real? And is there a better way? Is there the top secret way? So all those types of things you can tell people and just walk them through that. Pros and cons. They may sound cheesy, but they work in any market because people want to know the good and the bad of living in that market. And then you have the top 5, top 5 this, top 6 that, top 7 that, top 8. Any type of list video, people like that as well. And so that works really well. But then it comes down to search engine optimization. This is very important because thumbnails matter. This is a majority of the battle on YouTube because people are searching, and then guess what YouTube's going to do? It's going to pop up multiple thumbnails on there. So we don't guess on this stuff. We test everything. And there's actually software that will allow you to flip-flop a thumbnail every other day so that you can know which is the best one and which one works. So the thing is we always throw out like a couple of different thumbnails to test, and you can see the difference. Like this one won, but it got 20% more clicks than the other one. This one, 387% more clicks than the other one. And this one, 648% more clicks than the other one. Now think about this. This one got less than 1%. YouTube likes a click-through rate of anywhere between 2 to 10% on their thumbnails. So if you ever look in your analytics and you don't have that, YouTube's probably not going to promote that video. And so if you've had a video that's gone nowhere, it may not be because the video's bad, it's because you didn't get the clicks in the first place, so YouTube never promoted that video. But this one, we just change it up, and you never know. You want to change one thing on that thumbnail. You want to change the picture or the words or the background picture, so that way you know you have a direct understanding of what works and what doesn't. And this second one got 648%, and the click-through rate was 5.8%. So that's a video that YouTube would be happy to promote. So all of this is we have dug into this and researched and figured out why and what works. And then it comes down to lead conversion, because if you have to do anything twice in your business, you should have a system, a process, a campaign, or a trigger, or some sort of automation so that you never have to do that thing ever again. Just like when we refer somebody to the lender, we just move them through our pipeline and all the automated triggers go off. So sent to lender, if we want to refer somebody to our lender, we never type that email out a second time. We built out that email campaign, that template, and what it does is it customizes it to that client, but it goes out to everybody that needs to get that email, and so we don't have to worry about that. So, let me ask you a question. Here's our BHAG. You saw how to build your channel, content creation, optimization, SEO, lead conversion, and I don't know, what if we could all do all this with you? That's what we're asking today. So this is where we built out the passive production process where, if you film the video, we've actually developed on the back end where we can help you build out the channel. We edit, we optimize, we publish, we support, take it over there. It's a full turnkey system. So it's something to ask about. But let me tell you a quick story and then we'll open it up for Q&A. And this is really for those that have some doubt, because I'm not really anybody special. And the thing is I grew up in a small town called Stephenville, Texas. It's 2 hours south of Dallas. If you're not milking cows or riding bulls, really not much else to do there. So, I worked about a year after high school, stocking shelves and mopping floors until I was like, all right, this isn't going to work out for me. I got to get out of here. And what country boys do to get out of the country is we join the military, right? So this was back in 1999. And I joined the military and got in, and that was it. I was an infantry sergeant, and in the Army ran combat patrols, quick reaction force, base camp security. 2 years later after I got deployed, and I really just got in to get money for college. I thought this was going to be easy, right? We hadn't had any problems in like 9 years, and the last Gulf War ended in 9 days. And so I thought, nobody's going to mess with us again. So 1999, when I joined, I thought, oh, it's going to be simple. And then, 2 years later, September 11th happened. And, we got deployed. So I spent a whole year in Iraq. Actually, my partner, Travis, he's a combat vet as well. So he did a couple of tours. But, I got out. And the thing is I got out. I wanted to get my mind off everything, got into, CrossFit, always tried to stay in shape. And the problem was I came home from Iraq with a digestive disease. And that really messed with me for about 8 or 9 years until 2013 came. And then I ended up losing 50 pounds in a single month. And I became completely bedridden and disabled. And this nearly killed me. So I went to all these medical doctors. They couldn't fix me through the kitchen sink, medications, steroids, IV antibiotics, hospital stays. And it was really by God's grace, I found a natural doctor, and that natural doctor was like, well, hey, let's change your diet and put you on some vitamins and see if that works. And I was like, okay. And that worked. And so that was over 10 years ago. Think about that. It came back 100% natural without any medication or surgery. So the reason I just share that story with you real quick is because, I don't know, have you ever graphed out your life before? Because this is probably what it looks like, right? It looks a lot like mine. It's full of ups and downs. But it really comes down to like the decisions that we make that are going to determine whether we're going to move forward out of a bad situation or probably dig us in a deeper hole. And, the thing is in Iraq, we lost a couple of our team members. that's something very difficult to deal with, and you don't get time off in Iraq. You don't get, you don't get time to feel sorry for yourself. You have to move forward, right? We worked every single day, 7 days a week. You have to complete the mission. And so we had to learn how to deal with that stuff, but it was not easy to do that mentally. Then I got sick. That's a huge physical setback. And then whenever I came back from that, I started a financial services business, and I worked with all the teachers on their retirement planning at Dallas ISD. I had contracts with Dallas ISD, and that was going great for the last 5 years until COVID hit and shut down all the schools, right? Shut down my business overnight. And so I was sitting there asking myself, how did this happen? In April of 2020, I was 41 years old saying, how do I start over without starting over? And here comes Michael Reese still trying to get me into real estate, which what's funny is we sold gym memberships together a long time ago. And he wanted to get in real estate, and I was like, I don't want to be a real estate agent, respectfully. I didn't want to be a real estate agent. I know how hard they worked. I know what they did to generate business, and I just couldn't really see myself doing that at 41. I knew it worked, but I just didn't want to do that. And so, over the summer of 2020, I sat there with a lot of time on my hands, and instead of watching Tiger King, I just decided to do research. And that's where I started to dig in and say, okay, if I'm going to become a real estate agent, I want to figure out a plan. I want to find out a way to attract business. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok didn't really sit well with me. YouTube was my last choice, but whenever I discovered YouTube was a search engine and not a social media platform, then it made sense to me, and I realized I could create content about Dallas because I knew nothing about being a real estate agent, but I've been in Dallas for 20 years, so I can talk about Dallas all day long. And so if I just educate people on Dallas and find out what they're searching for, because YouTube tells me directly what they're searching for about Dallas, I'll just make those videos and I'm likely to show up, and that's exactly what happened. So really, it took about 22 years to be an overnight success, right? So I know we've had a fast run in real estate, but it was just asking myself different questions and how do we apply that to do it differently. So, thank you. Thank you. So, you've got to choose your hard, right? I mean, it comes down to this, is that, it's hard working out, but to me, it's a lot harder being sick. I've been there. So, health, diet, nutrition, all of that is very important to me now. It's hard owning a business, but to me, it's a lot harder having a job. And it's hard making videos, but to me, it's a lot harder making calls. And so you have to choose that, which hard do you want to choose? And the thing is though, you don't have to convince me to make videos, because in our first year, we did $1,006,000 off of 160 videos. So that's like making $6,200 a video. And if I offered you $6,200 to make a video, do you think you could make a video? Yeah, probably so. But in the second year, we did $2.3 million off of 156 videos. So that's like making almost $15,000 a video. So if I offered you $15,000 to make a video, do you think you could do it? Yeah, it's like selling a house every time I make a video. So that's pretty good. So, we built out, the thing is that as we started to expand our team, is that I didn't want to have to reteach everybody on our team to do this one by one. And so what I decided to do was document that whole process and put it into a program, and built out everything on a step-by-step module to walk anybody through this whole process, with workbooks, with video tutorials, everything that's in there that's needed. We even do support. We do 4 live calls every single week to support, because what happened too is that as soon as others started hearing of our success, then they wanted to ask as well, how do I do that? And I just can't teach YouTube to every single person individually over the phone, which is what happens. Real estate agents are notorious. They will call you and ask you every single question and do that. So we built out this course on there to do everything on there. And so it really comes down to, what do you believe? And if it's not where, if you're not where you want to be, I believe you just haven't learned something yet. But I also believe you can hyper-learn any subject in 60 days. Now, the thing is before I got started on YouTube, that's what I did, was researched it for 60 days. I just went all in. No Netflix, no extracurricular time, just studied YouTube for about 60 days, and that's how I started to figure out a plan. Of course, with the course we built out, it doesn't, it won't take you that long for sure. But I'm going to end it so we can have some time for Q&A. But if you would like to learn a little bit more and maybe talk with us about how we can help you do that in your market, then feel free to scan the code, and we'd be happy to jump on a call with you. So thank you very much. There's a mic in the middle right there if you want to ask a question.
Too late. I'm right there, too. Question, I know. You want to get in line? Look, now you're free back. All right, the question I had is, you were talking about some of the tools. I've seen tools like vidIQ and TubeBuddy and tools like that. Can you recommend any third-party tools that we should also look into?
We use TubeBuddy. That's the main one we use. I know people that use vidIQ. I think they're very similar, but we just started out with TubeBuddy, so that was familiar to us. So that's the main one we use for research. Yep, you're welcome.
So tell me about the ratio between buyer leads and seller leads that you get, and what have you been going for?
Okay. Yeah, great question. But let me ask you, are you saying that because you'd rather work with sellers over buyers, or does it matter? Okay, yes. But would you like to get a referral fee off 156 transactions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just wanted to, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, a channel is typically going to attract buyers, especially in the beginning. And if you're in a top relocation market, you're going to attract a ton of out-of-state buyers, but they're our favorite clients. You know, getting them under contract on average 51 days, that was probably really like 7, because most of the time they didn't even come into town for 30 or 40 days once they reached out to us. And relocation clients are extremely intentional, and they're decision makers. Most of the time we'd get them under contract in their first day or two that they came into town, and that's still the case. So they move very quickly, but you'll find probably a lot of buyers, because those are the ones researching and typically out of state. Even if you're in a left coast state, I mean, you'd be surprised. There are people that are relocating around that state in general as well, and people do move there for job opportunities. So even if you're on a left coast state where people feel like everyone's fleeing, there's still a lot of business there, and people are still researching on YouTube. I think once you hit, right now, we're starting to turn over a lot more listings, and also it depends on the content you feature. So if you feature listing content on your channel as well, you're going to attract other sellers. But it'll definitely be buyer heavy. But if you don't want to work with them, find somebody to refer them out to. Or
any prospecting. So
yeah.
You're typically going to get buyers, then you can sell.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome.
So if you work in a more crowded market, like I'm from Portland, Oregon, where there's other people that have probably already signed up for your program.
Yep.
There's other kind of competing channels that are real similar to what you guys are doing. So do you have any tips for people that are trying to carve out their own space when there's other living in
Sure.
city?
Yep. What's your name? Anthony? Evan. Okay. I was way off. Evan. So the good news is there's only one Evan. There it is, right? So let me ask you this. HGTV, every single year, do they come out with a new real estate show, or do they say, I think we have enough real estate shows. Let's not come out with a new one. No, every year HGTV comes out with more real estate shows, right? Because they know content is king. And they also know that different hosts or different creators have different personalities. And so people really relate to personality more than they will the videos. Now, your information needs to be valuable. But ultimately, YouTube tells us, if you look at the back-end analytics of our channel, it tells you the top 15 channels that your audience watches. Guess what? 13 out of those 15 are Dallas real estate agents. But we still get the amount of traffic we do. I mean, would you like 3 to 5 calls every single day of people wanting to work with you? Yeah. Do you think we're going to capture the entire Dallas market from our YouTube channel? Probably not, right? And what's the alternative? What's the alternative? To do postcards, to do mailers, to cold call and door knock? Well, I think you're in a lot more competition with other agents doing that, all right, versus the 5 or 6 that may be on YouTube. And I tell you what, that is not saturated. That is not overcrowded. That is nothing. But in another 6 months or a year, there's probably going to be more. So I think there is an advantage to being on there sooner rather than later and building up your library. Plus, you can look at your market and figure out what are people doing. How many videos are they publishing? Is the content good? But again, it really comes down to personality. So people will watch all the channels, but when they find your channel, if they relate to you, they're going to say, I don't know, something about the 7 guy I kind of like, and then they'll start watching your videos, and then they'll end up calling you. Yep.
Hello. I was wondering what film equipment you use and what you recommend for somebody who just has an iPhone. And second question is, what do you use to create your thumbnails?
Yeah, great questions. Good news, I still use an iPhone. Yeah. So that's the funny thing is that we get comments from viewers and especially real estate agents. They'll be like, what camera are you using? It's amazing. I'm like, iPhone 11 Pro. They're like, wait, it's not even the new one? No, I still use an 11 Pro. You know why? Because when I upgraded, instead of selling it back for $100, I just kept it. So now it's a dead phone in my bag that I just use really as a camera. You use the wide angle on there. That's what gives you all that background shot. So anytime I have a $20 little tripod, a $20 tripod, so it gives me about a foot. It's only about a foot long, but holding that out on, actually I have it in my bag. Oh, it's down there. But it's with me. So holding it out there on a wide angle, it makes me about, this big in the frame, but it gives so much behind me, which is what I want people to see anyway. So I know, and I use that back camera, the 3 cameras on the wide angle. I don't have to worry about being in the shot because on wide angle, I know it's going to capture everything. So I don't have to worry about that. So I can just hold it, and it's very simple. And I have a little plug-in mic for the iPhone. It's called a Shure MV88. So that's a direct plug-in. You don't need any batteries. It's a directional mic. Just be careful when you're walking not to drag your feet because it will pick up like if you're dragging your feet. That's how powerful it is. But it blocks out almost everything behind it. So everything that's going on behind you, it's really just going to pick up your voice. So that's anywhere, it differs on Amazon, but that's probably around $100, $120. So that's probably the most expensive piece of equipment you need to get started is the microphone. And you do want good audio because that's very important. You don't want people to, listen. And then buy a little dead mouse or dead cat. Dead cat, that's what they call it. Yeah, it looks like a dead mouse, but they call it a dead cat. It's the real furry covering on it that blocks out the wind. So you can do it with an iPhone. You can do it with a little $20 tripod and a microphone. You're good to go.
I'm sorry, I can't even talk right now.
That's okay.
She did ask you what thumbnail you use.
Oh, yeah.
What thumbnail do you use?
Well, I use I use Canva. I don't use it. We have an editing team now as well. So that's what I was talking about on the process. We built out a team to do all of this for us and for other agents as well. So they use mostly Photoshop and Adobe Photoshop, things like that. When I did them myself, I use Canva, which is free. So canva.com, and you can just type in YouTube thumbnail. Bless you. You can do YouTube thumbnail in there. You type it in, and it'll bring up the exact template as a dimension on there as well. So you know that you can build out that thumbnail.
Okay, so now my questions. I got a couple quick questions that I think everybody's going to want to know. The first one is, how often do you post?
So I post 3 times a week.
Okay, and then do you also use hashtags?
Yes.
And then how do I become one of the 100 agents that's with you?
Scan that code, yeah.
And how much is that approximately, or do you want to just hold it there?
They'll talk about it.
Cool, thank you.
So the hashtags are, they're becoming more important on YouTube. They weren't so much before, but you can search by hashtag on YouTube now. But what we do is a couple of things. Is we put, you can do upload defaults on your videos, which is very time saving because you can put like half of your description as an upload default. So every time you upload a video, the part that you want to stay the same for every single video stays there. And then we always customize the top half for that video. But then we put what we call anchor hashtags. So anchor hashtags are cool because they're like 2 or 3 that are always there, which could be your name, your city, and a variation of your city or something like that. And then we'll customize 2 or 3 more hashtags for that city as well. So if it's not Dallas, Texas, then we'll customize it to Frisco, Texas or Plano, Texas. So I can never say that YouTube doesn't really give us that data that somebody clicked off of a hashtag or something like that. But for me, my rule is that if they give you a blank to fill it in. Because that's what most creators on YouTube make that mistake, is they upload a video and they say, well, I'm doing it. Well, the thing is that, guess what? It's a search engine. It works off of SEO, search engine optimization. So every blank matters. And so I fill it in regardless of what somebody may say. Well, that's not relevant anymore because there's a lot of opinions out there. And I'm just like, well, I'm going to keep doing it as long as there's a space to fill in on YouTube until they take it away. When they take that space away, then I'll stop doing it, right? So.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm Jennifer Patterson and from Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina. And
Hello.
My question is, can you speak a little bit to 2021, 2022 and your ramp up? Because I would love to have the same problems that you have encountered, and I'd love to learn from your bumps in the road, because I imagine it's taken some leverage to scale your business very, very quickly.
Yep.
And talent is at a premium, good talent. And so just curious if you could speak to that.
Sure. So that's the great thing about YouTube is if you remember in the beginning whenever I said didn't sell a home for 90 days, right? I mean, we started getting calls and then we closed 2 transactions. The first 2 transactions we closed in April of 2021. In May, we closed 3 transactions. June, we closed 5. And then, August was like 7. So it was a very steady, it's a compound effect. You ever done if you made a penny a day for 30 days, you'd be like a multi-million, right? If you doubled a penny every day for 30 days, it's like day 10, you're at 20 cents. And you're going, okay, this sucks, I'm broke. But at the end of 30 days, that penny becomes, hundreds of millions of dollars because it's a compound effect. So you have to be strategic as you do this because you need to scale accordingly. So when you close the first transaction or 2, this is where you got to say, okay, I need to pay the bills. I need to go do what I need to do, but then also I need to take that extra chunk and get ready for the ramp up. Because if you want to scale the way we did, now here's the thing, the last person asked how many videos. We did 3 videos a week because I wanted to, first of all, outwork everybody in our market. Number 2, because I wanted to grow as fast as possible. But if you say, hey, I want to do 1 video a week, which I've worked with somebody that wanted to do 1 video a week. That's all they wanted to do. It took them 6 months to get their first deal under contract. And so they're like, okay, cool. But they didn't want YouTube to be the forefront of their business. They wanted it to be in addition to. And so that was their choice. So how much content you produce, how often is going to determine how fast you grow. And then also, but it is, even doing that, you should be able to scale accordingly. So just make sure that you're taking notice of that. If we end up chatting, we're always happy to talk through that. And we do a lot of live trainings every single week. So live Q&As and things like that. And sometimes I do a live on every Wednesday on YouTube. And that's where I do a lot of screen sharing and things like that. And I get into like some of the back end stuff. But otherwise, just make sure you grow with your business as that stuff starts to come in. And usually you need to hire or outsource or something before even you're ready. So that's the other thing too, because sometimes if you wait a little bit too late, then you start getting in a pinch.
Hi, Jessica Dean from the Shenandoah Valley. How are you figuring out what people are searching for on YouTube?
TubeBuddy is the main way, but there's several different ways. You can go onto Google and search it. TubeBuddy has a direct search in there as well. You can even use the YouTube search bar. So if you ever typed in like your suburb, type in your suburb on YouTube in the search bar, in the YouTube search bar, and guess what? It'll pop up. You know how it auto-populates like 15 suggestions? That's typically what people are searching.
I'm Juan from Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Question.
Awesome. I wish I could do content there. God, my God. You should have had a channel, a long time ago.
You can only talk to an office.
Yeah. And this is our time, so last question. All right.
Just a question. Duration. I'm sure you've toyed around with duration of your videos. You post it 3 times a week.
Yep.
If you post less, you make it longer. If you post more, make it shorter. Or do you have a kind of number that you want to aim at?
Yeah, the videos should be as long as they need to be, which means, I know. It means give the information that's needed to give the information, but don't overtalk it to extend it. The least amount of time I've probably done maybe 10 minutes. So YouTube is the long form platform. So you want to give information. I've done an hour video, and I know everybody will be like, whoa, I can never do that. A 15-minute video is really just 5 3-minute videos edited together. So I'm not talking for a whole hour straight. And I did that as an experiment. Not every video is an hour long, but that's one of our best performing videos. So think about your people. They're in research mode, right? They're, moving is one of the most stressful things somebody can do. And if they're moving cross country, 10x that. So they want to watch. So as long as you're giving valuable information, and that was the thing, that hour video, I made it on like the top 10 suburbs in Dallas, and I ended up only speaking 4 or 5 minutes on each suburb, but whenever you piece it all together, I was like, oh, that was an hour-long video. But because people wanted to learn about the top 10 suburbs, they stuck with it and watched the videos. So just make sure it's valuable information and don't overtalk it just to keep talking. Thank you. And we'll be outside. We'll be outside if you have more questions. Travis and I will be outside if you have more questions. Oh, thanks, man.
Informative.
I appreciate
find a lot
it.
of times these things you don't get information.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay,
Like,
good.
Cool people that are successful, but like you gave a lot. It was
Okay,
awesome.
cool. Appreciate
One
that,
thing
man.
I noticed is that like you have like negatives on your hashtags. Don't do this. You find those are more.
Unfortunately, yeah.
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 Like it's a little more
I mean, people, you know, it like in the news, they say if it bleeds, it leads, right? So, but we always put a positive spin in there.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's,
like the information is
Yeah.
there, but that's how you get them in.
yeah, it's just like a little clickbait, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
All right, see you.
Super impressive. I'm
Oh,
a big fan.
Thank
so
you.
Nice to meet you. in
Yeah, good to meet you as
person.
well. What was your name?
I'm Kathleen Goldage of the phone. You can
Okay,
scan my,
cool. Yep.
my hi, hello. It's my business card. I'm with Sotheby's on Long Island. I had a question. Do you decide, like I'm on the South Shore of Long Island, do you base it, like my town is Babylon, do you look at it from a population sense? Like how large should you go out? I saw Northeast Georgia. You know, is that how you base it? Do you say,
Well,
okay,
that's where he lived. So,
Right.
you know, he did that. But basically your channel name, we typically go not by population, but by search volume. So
Okay.
if you're around like 2 or 3 major areas, typically we'll choose the one with the largest search volume because
Okay.
that's where you're going to draw the most
So
traffic.
search volume. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Dow,
How you doing?
from
Hi.
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Oh, awesome.
Magdalene, we are all from the same place.
Oh, awesome. Hello.
Renee Moore. We want
Alright.
to take a picture.
Yeah, sure, of course.
And then we'll email you.
Okay, sure.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Can I do a selfie
Yeah.
with you? And also,
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I want to do a short video. 'Cause
Okay.
This is going to be my first YouTube, so I want you to be there.
Okay, awesome.
You ready?
Yep.
Hi guys, I'm here with Levi. He is the king of the YouTube for real estate.
That's
So
right.
would you like to say something a little bit for me?
Yeah, I mean, just do some research. Do not get into analysis paralysis. Get started and then stay consistent. Consistency will always win. You'll get better with time, so don't worry about if you stink in the beginning. We all do, but it's okay. Just stay consistent. You'll get better. Study your craft, and you'll be well on your way.
Thank you.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Good to meet you.
How are you?
Hey,
I'm
good.
Ali
How-
Linsky, so nice to meet you.
Hey, Ali.
Just want to say thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
When's your
Appreciate
book coming out?
Hopefully next month,
Okay.
if not early March.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'm also an author. Here's my
Okay,
book.
awesome.
I already signed up. It says I'm meeting with
Yeah,
him.
with
Is that
Travis,
true?
yeah.
Is that actually true?
It's-
Okay,
it's
cool.
him. Yeah, it'll be
well,
him.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
yeah, that
much.
was a great talk.
Thank you for being the most engaged,
Thank you.
Christopher. Yeah, thanks for the support there.
Legendary. Thank you. I've got a question about how to stay in your lane on YouTube.
Yeah.
Some of my most engaged content has been more like kitschy comedy shit.
Okay.
I've got an acting background, you know, but
Yeah.
I see the formula and I see the thumbnails and I see the stuff that really works. So like, do you ever feel, obviously it works, so you just
Yeah.
stick with it, but like, are there times now an entertainer and, you know, global for that matter, like, are you ever experimenting with like characters or funny bits or
Well, I
different
think
things?
no. Well, I think it's important to be who you are because you're going to meet your clients.
Right.
I mean, if you're a YouTuber that never meets your audience, you could be somebody completely different.
Yeah.
So I use the term incorporate, don't dedicate.
Okay.
So you can incorporate your personality,
Yeah.
and I would just say maybe don't dedicate your videos to your personality.
Right.
So that means, you know, give the information, find what people are searching. But if you want to add if your personality is quirky or you crack dad jokes or whatever the case may be, you know, that's okay. But I don't know. I'm not going to say don't do it because I want everybody to do. I just know that people are researching. They're looking to make buying decisions, and they're looking for the information. So now, how you package it, again, and if you really focus on, you know, a quirky personality or a character, I think that may limit your opportunity just a little bit too. But again, I don't want to discourage you from doing that if that's your true passion. But just realize that it may take a little bit longer to build up there. So yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, so just do what you want to do, and I would crack a few jokes or something. I don't know if I do, you know, put on Batman suits and like, you know, hey, I'm buying a house today. I mean, you know, I don't know, you know, I would caution against that, but again, do what you got to do. So, all right.
Thank you. I tried to sign up, man, but I think the whole room did. So
Okay, cool.
It's like pushing off to May.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll find some time in there, or get with Travis.
Hey, man, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
I got
Hey,
a
Bob.
simple question.
Sure.
How do I get in touch with you? Book a call. Wouldn't pick up the.
Really? Okay.
From the
Yep.
back of the room.
Let me. I guess I probably could have left it on there so people could have came up.
Me and my daughter, and then my husband. Okay, so 4 more. So let me ask Taylor if she can add.
What's your phone number?
570-242-4400.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sent that to you, so you should have it. And just book on there, because I'm sure we'll probably follow up. If we see somebody gets booked out like 3 or 4 weeks, we'll do
fine.
some follow up. Okay.
Yep. Great job, man. Nice
Thanks.
to meet you.
Hi. What's up?
How are you?
Oh, what's up?
Good to see you. I know, our little Zoom
Yeah, I know. I was like,
Levi and I met in Key West.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When
So we're all your cousins.
when I wasn't in real estate.
Yeah, we're all yes.
I listened to you on Clubhouse.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
like a big fan with you and Juan.
Oh,
That's why I
awesome.
was like, oh my God, Levi's here. But
I know.
That's how I heard of you first, Clubhouse.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
still good on that thing.
You gave your financial presentation in Key West.
Yeah.
And then you followed up with me, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And we kind of just.
Yep.
But I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, thank you.
So proud of you. I did book a.
Okay, cool.
Call. Me
Thank
too.
you. All right, appreciate
I got
it.
lots to talk about.
Let's go.
I
Yeah.
searched Phoenix and I was like, he obviously doesn't have any clients in Phoenix. So it didn't come up.
There you go.
We're gonna get there.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
I'm from Montreal, Canada.
Okay.
Our specificity that we're mainly French.
Yep.
Does that pose a problem for you guys? Do we type in the content?
I mean, are you majority French?
Quebec is 90% French.
Okay.
There's English, but
Okay. The editing, I think right now, I don't think we have any French editors.
no. So we can do that part ourselves, or
You could. I mean, I don't recommend it. It's not the best use of your time.
Yeah.
So it's, but the other option, if you do the channel in English, I mean, the French people are going to know,
Yeah, sure,
but I don't know. But if you cut off French people because they don't speak English, but does everybody speak 2 languages pretty much?
most locals, yeah. But we get a lot of our immigration comes from France, right?
Okay.
We're 10 million francophones, so there's 60 million in France.
Yeah.
There's a lot of switching between the two.
Yeah, it'd probably be better. We can look for one. I mean, we could see if we could find one, but probably, yeah. I mean, you could probably find one on Fiverr or something like that, somebody that could edit.
Yeah, exactly.
But, so I would probably go that route. I mean, the course, you'd be able to run through the course and everything.
Okay, so
and
I'd
then-
be able to do the course.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, as long as you can read English
Yeah,
or.
Like most people dedicated are fully
Yeah,
bilingual in Quebec. But,
for sure.
But it's just that it's a bit sensible when we're doing advertising. If you're just doing it in English, people are
Yeah.
wondering, well, it's like going to Portugal and just doing advertising in
Yeah.
English. That would sound weird.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I'll definitely do the course.
There you go. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Do you mind if I grab a
No, go for it. Where's your name?
Yulia.
Oh, Yulia. How you?
What agency are you with?
Me?
No, not you.
What? I was like,
No, we're with EXP.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
oh yeah. You okay?
Can I take one more?
Sure.
My mouth is open. I look like a big goof.
I thought that's what you were going for, no?
Yeah, well, that's true.
Sorry. I thought when you asked what agency you were with, I thought you were making a video. You were gonna do a joke, like you don't know which agency I'm with.
Do you know Casey McCown out of Dallas? The real agent?
I don't.
He's a
Case.
veteran, too.
Is he?
Thank you for your service.
Levi, how you doing?
Yeah, good.
Kunal,
Hey,
also
Cannell.
with the EXP, just like yourself, out of Houston, Texas.
Yeah, good to meet you.
So I have a team of 45 team members.
Okay.
I have my own YouTube channel. I've hired a marketing agency to help push the content on different platforms. I have an in-house editing team. They edit the videos, but my viewership is significantly low.
Yeah.
So I have my team set up a call with your team to figure
Okay.
it out. I guess what I high level want to know is, do you provide services of providing content strategies, creating a platform? What do you guys actually do?
Yeah, on the back end, I mean the course walks you through how to do everything. So, but that is where if people want to, as a business owner, team owner, that's not something you should be doing. But you could put one of your people through that course, and they should learn probably the gaps. It'll teach them where the gaps are, and then and that's if you got them, that's probably what you want to do. Is
What's the cost of the course?
We'll jump on a call. Well, it's $5,000.
$5,000
Yeah.
for one-time fee to get the course.
One time, that's it. Yep. And if there's any updates, we do updates in there. That's all included, so it's lifetime. Yeah, so.
And as service providers, what do you guys charge? If I was to create content, send it to you guys edit, you guys manage the YouTube channel.
We have 9 different packages.
Okay.
So it's like if you want editing and SEO, or if you just want SEO, or if you just want editing. So it depends on, I don't know, we have that on our website. All the pricing is on there. It's transparent. So, I mean, it's just.
What's the range?
I think as low as $597 a month up to $1,400 a month. Yeah,
And it's
$1,400 a month would be like editing and SEO, and that's for 3 videos a week.
got it. So we send you the raw content, you guys edit it.
Exactly.
Thumb tags, all the stuff, put
Yeah,
it out there. So
everything.
it's either we pay up to $1,500 a month for that strategy, or we just get the program, learn the.
Well, I'm saying if you have your own team,
I do.
If you have your own team, they can, you could get the course for them, and they'll see where to do it. So they're doing it. If you, I don't know what that's costing you, but it's like, yeah, you could if you outsource everything.
I have an editor who's in-house. I have a marketing team that's in-house. So they do handle that. So they can go through a learning program and apply it, or I can just hire you guys to do that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm evaluating. What would you recommend? How does?
I mean, depends on your cost. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I mean, I don't want to put anybody out of a job, but but I would assume ours is probably usually more affordable, just because you got somebody in house on a salary or something like that.
Okay. And you're based out of Dallas?
Yeah, we're in Dallas. Yep.
How are you picking on more clients, real estate agents, other markets? How are you going about doing that?
How do we help them?
How are you going about getting more clients for yourself?
As agents, we get a lot
Not agents
of.
as in to prospect them to.
Oh, you mean real estate clients to buy homes?
No.
Oh.
So somebody wants to hire your company.
Oh, yeah.
How are you prospecting for them?
Just like this, or we do run some ads out there right now. So typically people will get caught up in our ad, and then if they go to our ad, it's kind of the same thing. They'll see the presentation, and if they want to book a call, they book a call.
The reason I asked the question was, with EXP, we bought the Success brand.
Yep.
Then we have Success Space. Do
Yep.
you know anything about that?
I mean, I'm not familiar with it,
But
but
Success Space is co-working.
Okay.
That Glenn is kind of pushing out.
Yeah.
The Success Space, Success Lending. So in Houston, in Sugar Land, which is south of Houston, I'm building a 21,000 square feet building.
Oh, wow.
With a co-working setup.
Okay.
Let me kind of give you a quick overview of that. So our vision is to have the right business partners in the space to collaborate. So I'm going to call the building The Set, which is Successful Entrepreneurs Transformed Here.
Nice.
3-story building. It's designed where first floor is an event space, second floor is Success Space co-working, top floor 9,000 is an event space. Okay, so I've already got the first floor finished. We're working on the interiors of the second floor. That's what the building looks like. The first floor is an indoor-outdoor event space. I've already had some conferences and training over there. And the second floor is going to be Success co-working. Top floor will be event space. That's the lobby area. Kind of gives you an idea.
Very nice.
My vision is, EXP, at the end of the day, we also extract prospecting realtors to join our organization. My vision is through this platform that I'm creating, the actual physical location, I'll have training sessions, conferences, all of that stuff, bring people in. When they're coming, I'm adding value. Hey, when you are part of the co-working space, here's what we provide to you. 1 or 3, 4 things.
Yeah.
As an example, there's a real grader vendor over here. What they do is they optimize your e-card, they optimize your other stuff. Someone talks with them to create a unique barcode. And when someone walks into Success Space, all the business partner information is shared to that.
Okay.
Stuff like that. So my vision is that through this space, if I have the right partner, especially with EXP with the same brand, same company, same vision, that it becomes almost like a service provider value. That when you join or take space in Success Space, here are the value add we have. So it could be where you or your team is doing either a virtual or in-person training session. That's what you did today.
Gotcha.
Once a month or once a quarter. When you do that, your strategy is to extract, clients.
Yep.
Right?
Gotcha.
At the end of the day, what you're doing today is to get people to sign up for your services.
Right.
So I'm providing a platform where you or your team comes in, regular basis, monthly, quarterly basis, to do a quick session, and then you're doing what you're doing. So we can talk further, but is that of interest to you?
I mean, I think we're open to anything all the time. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it's we'll definitely keep it open, and then just let me know. Yeah, we can always chat about it. So
When would you like to connect and talk in more detail?
I mean, we got another speaking event next week, and then one the week after. So probably just within 2 weeks, you know.
How
Yeah.
do I get in touch with you?
So did you book a call with Travis? No.
I've asked my marketing manager to book a call.
Okay.
I mean, that's for the other part, which is getting on the platform. This is something different.